Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit, and I'm with Kel. Kel, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing well. How are
Anything
you?
interesting happened this weekend?
Nothing too crazy. Just same old stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day anymore. Every day is the same.
yeah. 6 showers, go to
Yep.
work, deal with the public, come home. Um,
And
you
try
know,
not to think about it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then do what you do.
Yeah.
You know, ain't
I
playing
did play
anything
a little bit
different.
of
Or
ranked this week.
yeah, I was gonna say, you playing ranked?
Yeah. Not too bad. I played a couple of games earlier in the week, right before the season ended, which I like I feel like I always get a good opportunity to play games, like a lot on those days. And then every time I do, I completely regret it because like the last like 2 or 3 days of ranked are just always the absolute worst.
Yeah,
Because people are like super try harding and
they're either
they're like,
tryharding
oh,
or
I'm
they're
gonna have
throwing.
yeah, and like they're oh it's awful. Um and people get super toxic. And then like the first like week or two of ranked in a
Oh, it's
new
always great.
season is always phenomenal. So people are like super like wanting to help and like they're just like trying their best and but like not in like a an urgent way. Like there's no urgency and it
No,
like just makes for far better games.
yeah, urgency's okay, but it's the asshole urgency,
Yes.
I
Or
guess.
it's the I have to hit this rank before this time, and if I don't, all everyone is the worst.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I got blamed a couple of times for losses because I was playing support.
yeah.
Um, and like because people can never blame themselves or like
Oh, believe me.
okay, believe if you think your teammates are bad, that's fine, but don't fucking tell them that. Like
Or be
keep it to yourself
constructive.
or be constructive,
I,
something,
I'm
but
okay if
don't just
someone's
be
like,
like
"Hey, you did an
better
okay
healing.
job, but when we were taking X point, maybe instead of doing X, you could have done Y. I'm down with that. I'll take that.
Right,
Not in my rank because a bronze coaching me is like whatever. Because I
right,
play Moira most of the time anyway when I play support, so I just get hate.
yeah, fair,
I get hate for taking all the kills. I get hate for fucking healing everybody. Apparently,
yeah.
then there's the
Well,
the times
I've
when,
been
I've been watching Overwatch. I watch Overwatch League all the time. So I play Moira. I go
mhm,
into a rank game. I'm healing people, and they're like, "Why the fuck aren't you doing damage?"
right.
Because that's your fucking job, Tracer. Or you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like,
Like I get it. I had a couple of games where I was playing Anna, and I felt like I was doing everything I could to keep everybody alive. Like I had like the game didn't last that long, and I still had like 12k healing, and I got blamed for the loss. I'm like, how in what way was it my
in what
fault? Like
universe?
our like if you're gonna blame anybody, blame our Lucio that fed the entire game. Like I know I just
Wall
said don't
Rider.
blame, but like dude, when you're just like jumping in and getting hooked every single time, try something different.
Yeah.
Like because
Well,
now I have to heal everybody, and then it becomes my fault because I can't do enough to keep everybody alive.
well, and the thing is like some of it too, with that stuff, it just annoys me. But per Jeff and some of the content creators,
Yes.
we're gonna get what we've been asking for down the line. We might talk about that later. We might talk about it on a different episode. But let's dive into the meat of this week. All right,
Yeah.
so
So,
Vancouver cut everybody.
mhm, officially
Yep,
happened. We did discuss this quite a bit on our preview
preview
show,
show.
but we didn't have the full confirmation of who all was going to be on the team. And then we had some stories come out and different media
Yeah,
trying to spin it in different ways. And basically, after seeing all of that, I would say 95% of the issues that happened fall on the organization of the Vancouver Titans.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even the Korean, for some of the stuff, like them setting up the Korean thing. For me, it's just the overt blindness to what's going on and how other teams are working. It's almost like they were in their organization, and it's probably the same way in Boston, because let's look at how that fucking thing is getting run right now.
Good Lord.
They just are like, yeah, this is kind of an investment. Have fun with it, and we don't give a fuck.
Right.
And
but we're not going to give you the proper resources you need to like fully do this correctly. Like, we're going to give you just enough to get by, and that's about it.
Yeah, when you look at other teams and other things, people that own stuff, where they're giving them the full gamut, and they're involved in other professional sports and all that stuff. Right now, this is their only ticket. I don't understand. Yeah, okay.
Right.
The Canucks are fucking not going to. There's a chance that we're not going to get a playoffs for the NHL. This is the only thing that you have going live right now. You might want to try and make. But
even when everything was going correctly last year, they were still making stupid decisions. Like, this is an official thing that came straight from the organization. They did not have a full-time translator to translate between their management and the team and coaches and everything until June of last year. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
yeah.
How are you not going to have... And you only had one. You hired one translator to translate.
Well, you can hire one translator. Hire them at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, you're expecting this person to communicate literally everything that all, like, I don't know, probably 24 people, probably, when it's all said and done, that do not speak English or speak very little English, like. And you're only going to have one person do that halfway through the season? What are you doing?
And it's unbelievable they got where they got. And it's basically a testament to the players on the team.
Absolutely. Those players, 100%.
And I'm kind of now, I'm kind of sad that they're not together. But,
it is sad. It sucks. But at the same time, like, it's going to be, I'm fascinated to see where some of these guys go. I know, I think it was Haxel. Or no, it was Slime. Slime posted that he will be back in the Overwatch League very soon. So
he's gonna have pink and blue and black on.
I'm wondering if maybe because of the tournaments, maybe some of these guys won't play until after.
Yeah, they might wait.
The next cycle starts or whatever.
Yeah.
But we might get like announcements like this guy's joining the team, but he's not eligible to play in the tournament. But he's going to be here. He's going to be watching and doing all that stuff. So I'm thinking that's kind of how that's going to go.
Well, and being how this league is run, like the teams, the way they run it, shit, they're not going to tell you until, like, the exact minute they have to go on stage.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I mean, how many times did Florida do that last year where they, we're going to cut X, X, and X. We have a game tomorrow. But, I mean, the shit was already in motion, like, 2 weeks before.
Yeah. And that's the other puzzling thing is, like, they've been talking that this is going to happen for about, like, 2 or 3 weeks, but I don't know why it took so long for them to fully
even if you just say, you know what, we're parting ways with our original team, stay tuned.
Yeah. Something. Like, it
was transparency in this league, and see 15 shows we've done in the past about that.
Yeah, and now I think from Vancouver's perspective, from their organization, I think they might have been a little too transparent on some of the things that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to, like, brush over it, but, like, there's some things that they outright lied about and then had to retract and tell the full truth of. That just made them look a lot worse. And like, yeah, Vancouver just does not look good in any way, shape, or form from an organizational standpoint right now.
No.
I would say, like, mind-boggling. Like, when they were gonna be in Vancouver, they were in a facility that's owned by, like, it's like their practice facility. Like the Raptors play or practice there in the off season. The Canucks themselves,
it's like a
like,
big
it's a
time
huge
thing.
facility, and they made the excuse that they couldn't get enough computers in an area to get them properly social distanced. And I was just like, I was reading, I'm like, what the hell kind of excuse is that? Like, it just made absolutely no sense.
We work in a grocery store.
Yeah.
There are spots on the floor that say social distance. And also, the thing with the social distancing thing that's going on in the world as we know it right now, these guys are all together anyway.
Right.
So you can, like, if you look at, like, the other teams where they show, like, their facilities when they have the cameras on now, which we're getting some of, which is fantastic. Like Philadelphia, or, you know, I think they showed Boston.
They showed Washington yesterday.
Yeah, Washington. Their game. They're in the same room.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have fucking Newegg?
Right.
You
and
can't,
you could tell
Amazon? You can't fucking order 5 fucking computers? I don't understand.
Exactly.
In a desk?
You're like a multi-billion-dollar entity, and you can't get some gaming computers together?
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it was total crap. So instead, they're like, we're going to send everybody back to Korea, which the players were like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
They wanted to go home, kind of?
Like, they're like, yeah, I guess we'll go home. That's fine, but we want to be able to, like, play
together. We want to play together.
But then, like, they didn't have anything set up in Korea for them to like, actually play together. So they were forced to play from their own homes. So, like, there was just a total disconnect of, like, how they were connecting with each other. Because it's like a lot of the other teams, they at least had places set up. They had people on the ground in Korea with their teams. And
they have, like, apartments in.
They had apartments or office buildings, something like that. Like, there was some kind of presence there already, which I don't understand why you have a full Korean roster and you don't have at least some sort of presence.
That makes
no sense.
Especially
from a team that was as high profile as Runaway was. I would feel like you should have already had that in place there. Just to that point, to do, like, press or whatever. But even at that point, even if you didn't have any of that, I understand getting something together.
You could rent a big apartment for all of them to fucking play in.
There's got to be something they could have done. Than just be like, oh well, guys, you just got to play from your homes, and that's it. Because we can't be bothered to find you a place to get all together to play a game for a couple hours a week. Like,
we're not gonna pay that X amount of dollars. You pay that for the guy to sharpen the skates for your fucking hockey team.
Exactly.
That's not doing shit right now. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So it was just mind-blowing altogether. They ended up picking up part of Second Wind and Third Wave. Is that what it was?
Something like that. They picked up most of one roster.
North American, yeah.
And they had one guy, KSA, Kasa. I don't know if he pronounces it like that or whatever.
They were calling him KSA.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Thank God he's not on the Valiant. If he was on the Valiant, that would be terrible. But he was playing from Saudi Arabia, which the ping is like 250 or 200 to 250 ish.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and it was amazing that he was doing what he was doing. I mean, they didn't look terrible.
No, they really didn't look as bad as you would expect a team that
was thrown together on Thursday, allegedly.
They had 2 days to get put together and get some scrim time in. So yeah, good for them.
Yeah. I think they'll be okay down the line.
Yeah.
Once they get together and, well, we just talked about the organization. We'll see.
Hopefully they can get some better organizational support. But at least it seems like the guys that were at least in charge of putting the team together and all of that seem to at least understand like good players.
Yeah.
At the very least, that's something that they can pat
because
their
they have
heads
some
about.
good players. That Dalton is really good. Karkar's good. They have some good players on that team.
Right.
And
absolutely.
I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be pretty decent. So let's move on to some other news that we had this weekend. It was announced, I believe, on Friday that Corey was going to retire immediately, and that Stratus would play his final game on Saturday. Both leaving. Both leaving for two different reasons. So Corey is leaving to go pro in Valorant, and then Stratus is leaving to go full time as a streamer.
Yeah, expected. I didn't expect it from these guys, but
at the same time, I'm not that surprised because Corey is. I would say Corey is are in the same type of boat as Sinatra. Like that, this just was kind of a placeholder game for him.
Yeah,
it didn't really he was really good at it, but it didn't seem like this was going to be his long-term focus.
I've been saying this. Overwatch was the first new game that wasn't Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, any number of FPS games that are like console or PC. Mm-hmm. It was the new thing. It scratched an itch for a lot of these guys that like to play shooters but didn't like those games.
Right.
Valorant comes around. It's CS:GO with other shit.
Right.
And I think some of these guys dig the other shit that's involved. And, inherently, though, you have to have mechanics.
Exactly.
Overwatch is not, I keep saying this, Overwatch is not a true FPS game. You don't have to have great mechanical skill to play 1/3 to 2/3 of the heroes. Plus, there's things like tanks and support. Other games
it's different. It is much more, in game sense, is a much more impactful
than
skill
mechanics.
To have than mechanics. Yes, having great mechanics definitely is. I mean, and that's not to say that any of the pros don't have amazing mechanics, because they do. But you don't need the psychotically good mechanics in order to
you can't survive with just
the full focus. Yeah, you can't survive with just good mechanics, because there are guys that have phenomenal mechanics and they're still stuck in Diamond.
Yeah,
because
there are guys that are in the league that, like Taimu, fantastic, unbelievable mechanics.
But just for whatever reason, he could just never rise to what he needed to be to be effective in the league.
Well, I mean,
he could. I don't know if it was.
He could, but the meta changing and the fact that it's kind of a amalgamation of all kinds of different games, his mechanics couldn't carry him throughout.
Exactly.
You have to have you have to be able to play Widowmaker and Mei.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I can pick up the sniper rifle, or I'm gonna buy the heavy machine gun or the SMG or whatever.
Right.
I can headshot pretty much anything. That doesn't matter in this game.
Exactly. Definitely not as much.
No.
Yeah. So it's a bummer to see more guys leave, but at the same time,
right, and I understand it.
Yeah, I feel like this is basically, we're just kind of in a transition phase with the league at this point, and the game overall. We're just kind of we're getting developer things, and they're messing with balance and still doing all that stuff, but at the same time, the vast majority of the team is working on the sequel
Right.
and trying to make that the best thing that they can. And I think we're going to get a big resurgence when Overwatch 2 comes out. And I think they're just trying to maintain and really figure things out as they transition to new aspects of competitive, because I think there's going to be some dramatic changes to competitive that are going to be impactful to the league that's going to happen in Overwatch 2. So I think that's definitely something, and they're just kind of they're taking the lumps now. So down the line,
they're blizzarding it is what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be supremely polished.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I understand what these guys are going through. I understand what I want to play. Go play what you want to play. I don't think the league's going to die. And like we were saying, like we're seeing a transition. We're also seeing a transition of guys that were in other games. All these other guys that came from other games to play Overwatch in beta that evolved into, all of the teams that started playing, in Overwatch League season 1 to season 3 now. But there's a core of guys that are playing Overwatch to play Overwatch. In contenders that are more involved in the game itself than I want to shoot.
Right.
This is my option.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All right. So this is the newest thing. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna go play it. Other guys now, we're getting a cycle of guys that are coming in from Korea, NA, Europe that are. I like Overwatch. I like the way it's played. So it's not a bad thing that we're transitioning into this, in my estimation, in the pro level. Yeah, the other guys that are like, they're legends, names. They want to play shooty. I want to shoot shit. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Go play a game where you can do that. I want to shoot a guy in the
head with a pistol and it kills him instantly.
Like Corey. Like there was a video of Corey going around. Like he fucking just annihilated
his Twitter. That was just gross.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna watch that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch Valorant when there's some reasonable, not streamer shit going around. Mm-hmm. There's an actual esports.
When we start getting some legit tournaments and teams put together, I'm very much interested to see it.
But, I have no problem with these guys doing that. But I am excited about, the guys that are coming up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start watching. Honestly, I've made a concerted effort. I'm going to start watching more contenders than these guys that are involved, that are invested, I guess, not involved. Invested in Overwatch itself. Mm-hmm. Because some guys you're a DPS, you want to shoot stuff. That's the whole point. But there's the new crop of people coming up. They're playing Mei, they're playing Echo, they're playing McCree, they're playing all the different stuff.
Right.
And I want those guys in.
Same. I want that to be, and that's kind of always been my hope with the game, is that it would be the guys that can switch to all the different characters and play them at least a decent level would be the most effective players. And that's kind of where it's heading, at least at this point, based on how things are going. Those are the players that are really excelling. Guys like Prophet is one guy, Rascal, and guys.
Even
that can
people like Sure4.
Troy Hoban.
Yeah. Guys that can just be versatile in the game. And
in their role or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. And to me that's I enjoy watching the guys that are mechanically skilled that can do the pop shot with fucking Widow, but you know what? Unfortunately, it's not the biggest thing out right now. She isn't working as well. And
exactly. You're actually better off playing McCree.
Adapt or move on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's dive in to the actual games. It started off with a doozy on Saturday morning.
Yeah. You wake up on Saturday morning and go, eh?
Yeah. I had to be to work at 6 o'clock. The game was I think it was at halftime when I woke up. And
Probably the best game of the week too.
it was
By the way,
tied 1-1 going into halftime, and then when I got to work, Seoul was up 2-1, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I watched at work I watched the third match, I watched Anubis, and Seoul. Oh my God, Seoul had one of the fastest capture times of the first point that I've ever seen.
like
And
quick
then,
play speed,
yeah,
like just like
quick play. It was ridiculous. I think it was about 45 seconds they captured the first point. They were going for an absurd record, and Shanghai managed to put the clamps on them because they started to snowball that into taking point two, and I think they got to like 95%. It was really close.
It was like it was just going to end.
And Shanghai put the clamps on them and held for, I think it was 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Ridiculous defense on the part of Shanghai.
That team is so good and well coached.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Seoul managed to come back and crawl their way out and get the win. It was a really solid performance from Seoul, and definitely a big boost to their confidence. Absolutely. They really needed it because they were on a terrible losing streak.
Were they on a 9-map losing streak?
Actually, it got to 10 because they lost the first.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
This game. So they ended their streak in the second map, and then they got the win. So it was a huge victory for them, and just overall looked worlds better. They have a lot of improving to do, but the talent on this team is starting to come through, and they're starting to get some cohesion and some proper chemistry with each other. So I'm really excited to see where this goes, and now we actually have some competition for Shanghai.
Yeah, I do believe that too. But there's also elements of what Sideshow said last week, though. Well, where like Fitz went like fucking ham.
Yeah.
They're still starting to progress as a team, but there's still moments where they have to have that guy.
Yes.
That has to carry right now.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
Give it a couple weeks down the line, through this tournament, getting them in a tournament situation might be the best thing for this team for them to, just start getting back to, where they or not where, getting to where they should be, I guess is what I'm saying. Where I'm going with that. But yeah, I didn't get to see as much of that match as I wanted to because I had to work too, but I had to work at a different time. And it was fucking busy on Friday. God damn it!
Yeah, it was.
They take my time away from
this whole weekend is nuts.
Me going into the back room and doing my thing.
Fair.
You've come back there. I have fucking OWL recap on or something. You're like, I hear Bob in the background.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really even turn it on right now either, so
yeah,
I understand.
It's unfortunate.
Too much going on.
But the next match I did watch. I actually went when I got home. I actually watched that in the in between. So, New York.
Well, the next match was London and Chengdu, but there's really not much.
That was the only match I fucking called all day.
Yeah,
and I'm not counting the Valiant Boston match. Like when you wake up and you see you're 1-2, you're like, oh well, Shanghai won, okay.
Yeah.
You look at it, you're like, oh no, London 3-0'd.
Yeah. And really, all of it I got from this game is that
Chengdu's not good.
Chengdu's just not good. They're not.
Jinwoo's great. Ameng's not Yoda.
A really great ball.
Yeah.
But he is
serviceable on everything else.
Serviceable on everything else, and then the rest of the team has their moments, but they're just they just don't have enough.
No.
And I think they've fallen away from playing their weird strats and just kind of playing their game, and it's really made them a much worse team.
Yeah. Their whole thing was the element of what the hell are they going to do?
Exactly.
What the hell are they?
Which I figured they would thrive with this chaos that you would get from hero pools, but
they're not.
They're not at all.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's basically forced them to play mirror, and when they play mirror, that is when they are at their absolute worst, and that's been what they've been doing the majority of the time, and it's showing because they are just been awful.
They've been hot garbage. No, I'm not gonna lie. Not even remotely good at anything.
Yeah.
Like outside of Jinmu doing some stuff here and there, they're just terrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, and you know, London, and we talked about London a couple times. Where we're like, all right, they have some elements where they're going to be good, but yeah, they lost today, but they got fucking wrecked.
They got throttled today,
and it's Guangzhou. Guangzhou's the team. Once you take your attention off them, they start fucking thriving. But
Absolutely.
The minute you said like, "Oh my god, these guys are so good," they lose like 3 matches in a row, and you're like, "Oh well, fuck them."
But as soon as you write them off, yeah, they just come right back and demolish.
But London, I'm liking some of the. I like their DPS line. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But Chengdu, I don't want to hear. I keep calling them, and you know this. I call them the early '90s Oilers.
Yeah,
they do the wacky shit. They're going to score 45 points, but they're going to give up 48.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're going to have 5 sacks, and someone's going to knock out 3 guys in the defensive backfield. So it's going to look like they're a good fucking team.
Right.
Back in the day,
but then NFL. But then you look at how much they're giving up, and you're like, oh, well, of course you lost. You gave up 400 yards.
Yeah, but you had 5 sacks.
You had 5 sacks, but yeah, exactly. So let's move on to New York, Guangzhou. Actually, all weekend Guangzhou looked pretty good.
Yeah. Well, they were also benefiting.
But this one was, they were benefiting from New York just being plain out bad in this game.
I wouldn't call New York being bad. I would call it New York being fucking dumb.
Bad, dumb.
Dumb.
Close enough.
Boston level dumb. Like there was
mind-boggling decisions that they were making.
Yeah, like they were like on Kings Row, they decided to run. Like I think I was Genji Sombra or Genji Tracer Dive on attack. Genji has no value on that map. None. Yeah. 0. He barely had anyone they were running regular dive.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is who are you could not build anything up.
Yeah.
Like, you can't build an ultimate up. And then the whole thing with Genji is right now, you have to have an Ana to make him worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to build a blades up to win fights. Because he's not going to do shit unless he hits Nano Blade. So, if you don't build Nano Blade up fast enough, it's absolutely fucking trash and useless. It's like worse than like running Reaper at the beginning of last year when people were trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're suiciding yourself.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is Guangzhou is a really good double shield team. I think that's why that's part of why they played so well this weekend. Rio is I would say honestly, I'm gonna go out and say it, and that Rio is one of the better, probably one of the best Orissas in the league. Top 3 Orissa in the league.
Yeah, he is really good.
Because his Orissa is filthy. the rest of his tanks are they're serviceable, but like I would put his Orisa as one of the top tier Orisa player.
Yeah.
And then Krong is a really good.
Krong is pretty good
Sigma.
all around.
But his Sigma is really good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good on Diva too, but when he gets to play Sigma, he's top notch. And yeah, like this is definitely a tank line that really thrives with double shield, and I think that's definitely part of why they played as well as they did. And then also, yeah, just New York making questionable decisions, playing a really weird dive with just playing Doomfist into
That's what
into May.
Yeah, they were just doing stupid shit. I don't know if they thought they were going to style on him or what. They were just doing bad. They just weren't like.
They wasted so much time on that second point, or on the second point of King's Row.
Yeah.
Just like trying to force the Doom Genji, and I don't get it.
Yeah, and in a scenario where you're running Genji, you have to have like Blade up like every couple of fight. Like
you need to have Blade every other fight, or else it's not worth playing.
Because first and also there's no way to poke with
at least not effectively.
Yeah,
like you can poke, but the other team is just going to heal it up so quickly that it's just pointless.
Especially when they run an Orisa Sigma, there's shields everywhere,
and there's so much healing because they're running a BAP they're running BAP Zen or Moira at times.
Yeah,
like so you just
and you
both of those characters are just like, oh, Genji poke or whatever, we got this.
Yeah, and you're just feeding you're feeding convalescence.
You're feeding their alts. So yeah, it's just some really questionable decisions from New York, and I would say this is probably Guangzhou, and they showed it last year when Sigma came out that they were a pretty strong double shield team.
Yeah.
So I can't be surprised that this is something that they're pretty good at. It's just when they get into the other metas is where they're a little shakier.
Yeah, they get a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like they should be able to run them with Nero, like especially when they're doing they do some sort of dive with Echo or Pharah or something like that. It feels like it should work, but it never really does. Which I'm interested to see with some of this, with the guys that were formerly on Vancouver.
Yeah.
If they pick any of them up, which I could see them doing, maybe hit scan or tank wise. Janu on this team would be fantastic. Janu on any team almost would be great, but just like there's like something missing when they're doing.
Honestly, I think a guy like Slime would be perfect for this team.
Yeah.
If Guangzhou is the team that Slime ends up on, more power to them, because that is something that they need with all the issues going on with Neptuno.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Because and that's not to say that Char's bad, but he's not Slime.
No, I would love Slime on my team because that's our biggest hole right now.
And that would be a disgusting combo to pair him with Shu.
Yeah, him and Gangnam Jin would be good too, though.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Fair. All right, let's move on.
Because Chris is our biggest problem, and he actually played really well today. I'm not gonna,
So there was a real weird game with Paris and the Gladiators. This what the hell happened to the Gladiators in this game?
I don't know. They were like one of my favorite fucking games. Like in our picks, like with the odds and all that. And it's not like they had Eggsy playing at all.
Yeah, it just Soon and Nico just took over.
And that was why I started watching this game. And I'm like, fucking Paris is gonna win this.
Yeah.
Just by the cohesion and the way they were playing, I was like, oh my god, the Gladiators are fucking done.
Yeah.
And
the weird thing is, like, it went, it would never really got to where Paris, like, dominated.
But they won.
But they won, yeah. Like, anytime it was that kind of old Gladiators where it's just like they're always in it, but then, like, when it really comes down to it, they can't clutch it out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly because, I mean, they were in it and really pushed every single map. Yeah. But they just could never get over the hump.
Yeah, and you can't say that the Gladiators played terrible. They just didn't play as good as Paris.
Yeah.
In this whole match, and I will say,
Nico is starting to look like one of the better echoes.
Yeah.
In the league,
and they stuck on the Echo when everybody else decided, well, showcase is over.
Yeah, they stuck with the Echo, and it seems to be working very well for them.
Yeah, and this is the inherent problem that I always have with stuff. The pros are going to go back to what people are saying, and from their experience, they're going to play what's broken.
Right.
Echo is kind of broken, like overpowered, but May is the most overpowered hero since Brig.
Well, it's that, and then there's that level of comfort as well.
Yeah.
That is definitely a factor. But yeah, broken.
People got really comfortable on Brig when they realized she could fucking take over a match.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Goat's team, not Goat's meta, for showing us that.
Yeah.
Which also, me and you said, much like we said about May, like, if people play May the right way, it's going to be a problem. And here we are. But she's banned this week. Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, Gladiators just... as soon as you think that they're really getting over it and getting over that hump, they have a game like this where you're just like, oh yeah, you can still have these moments where you guys fall apart for no reason at all.
With different players on the team, even.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, I don't. Gladiators are so frustrating to talk about at times because I do like them a lot and they're one of my favorite teams, but they're just so frustrating, and I hate saying that about an LA team. But just something about that team, I like them a lot.
The other one's like the weird scrappy team that, like, you're okay with them losing. You're like, all right, yeah, they showed up, they did well enough, but they're not on that level yet. I mean, right now with the Valiant, you know, it's kind of the.
In the beginning of the league, I hated the Valiant. I thought they were one of the most overhyped trash teams in the league, and I was right. And all right, so let's move on to the next game. We had the first game of the Vancouver Titans, the new look Vancouver Titans, and at times they look pretty decent. I don't know how much of that is attributed to the terribleness of Washington.
I think Washington was on a mission too, though, because it was Stratus's last game. Sometimes that stuff matters.
Trying to win it for him.
Yeah, that stuff matters a little bit, and I also think Stratus played above and beyond because he got player of the match on. It was this is my last
hurrah.
I'm not going out that way.
Yeah.
But Vancouver looked good enough.
Vancouver looked surprisingly good.
Eventually, they're going to be a decent team with this roster.
It's going to take a couple of weeks. They're going to have the next couple of weeks are going to be rough. They're going to get mashed a few more times, I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But then I feel like there's going to be one game in particular. I don't know which game it's going to be.
Flip the switch.
Exactly, where there's going to be something's going to happen, and you're going to be like, oh, this team might be something. And it's similar to basically it's going to be the equivalent of what happened with the Valiant when they beat the Shock earlier in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, they beat Dallas at that point, which was before that, which was Dallas is kind of...
That was when Dallas was still trying to get their...
legs under them.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
And you couldn't really take much stock. And then they beat the Shock. And, yeah, it was when the Shock were kind of going through some some weirdness, but at the same time, it's still the defending champions,
Yeah.
and
you beat them. Hey,
handily.
that's still
like
that
it wasn't even just that they beat them; it was that they
they kicked their ass.
manhandled them. Yeah,
And that's a notch in your belt. I mean, and that's going to happen for this Vancouver team. I mean, even watching them today against Florida, yeah, Florida, did what they did. But in this game, there were moments where they could have won, but Washington's just been together for so long. I think it's where this game in particular, and maybe even today's game, it's going to take some time. But they had moments where they look good. And they also have guys that are they have 2-3 guys that are playing in EU, and one of the guys is playing in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, high ping there. It's not
talk about ping. Jesus.
Yeah, you got one, Paris had, Fielder playing on 200 ping. Okay. One guy.
Right.
You got 2 or 3 guys playing on that. That's a lot.
It's tough. All right, so let's move on.
But I do want to say
the rest of Saturday there really wasn't too much to talk about.
But
Atlanta absolutely.
One last thing on Vancouver. Dalton is the real deal.
Dalton's really good.
He's going to be. He was phenomenal on Tracer, phenomenal on Widowmaker today. And Tracer and what he did. I think Dalton is going to be somebody for everybody to watch.
Definitely. So the rest of Saturday, really not much to talk about. Atlanta absolutely throttled Houston.
Don't even get me on that. The moment I put faith in Houston, they do exactly what I don't want them to do. They put fucking rockets in.
Yeah. Well, also, a lot of double shield, and that is something that we have said pretty extensively that
Atlanta's really good
excels at.
And I should have saw that before I fucking made them my pick. Houston.
Fair.
I just didn't think. I was like, Houston's been looking good. Blah blah blah. That's going in my brain. All you fucking Houston fans, I hate you. Not really, but
fair.
For this pick, I hate you because you're telling me how good Houston is, and damn it, I fucking bought in.
Oh, God. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on.
I mean, there's really, again, even less to talk about in this game. The Valiant took care of business against Boston.
Yeah. That happened.
That did.
Season 1 Shanghai.
Let's move on.
The only thing we can say is Season 1 Shanghai is better than Season 3 Boston. Fight me.
I'm with you.
Let's go on.
I'm right there with you. All right, so Shanghai took care of business against Hangzhou. Again, really not much to talk about with this game.
Taking care of business and then doing what they did. They fucking... That was prison rape.
It was
that was
an utter demolishing.
Yeah. And there's something I want to talk about before we move on. Fleta on May is disgusting.
I would say
his brains
Fleta's probably one of the best Mays in the league.
His brains on May are just ridiculous.
His plays are
just. I was watching it, passively watching it, this morning. Before I was getting ready to go to work and all that stuff. It was Nepal village. There's a shot, possibly, that the point could get taken over. So what does he do? He throws a defensive blizzard down and then walls them off at 99. The map over. He is underrated on May. Plus his right clicks are ungodly.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Sure, give that guy a bigger fucking ammo clip.
Right. Good Lord.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, they didn't even get a chance to contest on that. That was ridiculous.
No, that was dumb.
Stupid. All right.
And it was all Fleta.
Yeah, Fleta's a monster. So next we've got London and Guangzhou. again, like Guangzhou just looked really good.
They looked like we thought they were going to look.
Mhm.
We were on their bandwagon.
And again, they're a team similar to Atlanta where they really thrive with the double shield.
Yeah.
And
they do.
they showed that today again. And London really struggled against it.
Yeah. And, London had played an inferior team yesterday.
That isn't as good at that either.
Yeah.
So they were kind of able to play a little more of their game.
Right.
So, yeah, it was mostly just a
matter of London
just
dictated the match from minute one. And, yeah, they lost the map, but London, much like Vancouver, will be better as we go on, I think.
Yes, agreed.
Because they didn't play, 10 weeks, I think they said.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's crazy.
Anyway, let's keep going.
All right, so next we had Philly and Dallas, and actually this turn out to be for a 3-1. This was actually a pretty close game.
It was a fun match, like we thought it was going to be.
Fun to watch. Yeah.
There were a couple of moments where I was like, I don't know if I was rooting for Dallas, but on Anubis they had a chance to this could have went to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Doha held on to a fucking EMP at AKM lengths.
Yeah.
He would go in and he got fucking killed one time. All right. You get elimed. All right, I'll give you and then he went back in and it was just they were holding on to shit and that newest map fucking drove me nuts.
Oh god. Yeah. That was brutal.
But on the whole, though, Dallas looked good, though. I mean, Philly looked like Philly to me. I mean,
mm-hmm.
The thing is everyone's like, well, like Philly in the past. Well, here's the thing with the difference between Philly in the past and Philly now. They have Alarm Funny Astro.
Yes, exactly. They have, I would say, right now, the best support line in the league.
The top or top 3.
Yeah.
But those guys are awesome, and they just... I don't normally say I love watching... It's like when Jonak in Season 1. I don't normally say I love watching support play, but watching these guys play is awesome.
It really is. And I will say Hisu has been a revelation for this team. As good as Carpe was with EQO at times in the past, I feel like Hisu just has an even better chemistry, and just the things that these two are pulling off together are just
ridiculous,
absurd. When they get to play the Sombra Tracer combo that they play together,
the two of them, that's just dirty.
It's just gross. How do you stop that?
Yeah, and Doha and Decay are really good too. So that was kind of a fun thing to watch.
That was definitely a really fun mirror.
Dallas didn't look bad in this. I'm not gonna fault Dallas for losing this match at all.
No, it was definitely just a matter of Philly's just a better team right now.
Yeah, there were times where they could have taken the match, but Philly's the better team, and they did the things they needed to do to win.
Exactly.
I think down the line...
That's just kind of where they're at. And I think down the line, Dallas can get to that point.
We get in this tournament, something, they could beat a team like Philly.
Right.
I mean, it's a possibility. They're looking really good. Although there was one funny moment, though, where Note got dim-eked, and I think whoever was announcing was like, I really wish they had a stat that said how long a guy's dim-eked, because Note has to be up there with with the staggers.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's one of the guys that gets staggered so bad.
Yeah.
I think it was Uber. Uber's I want to see a stat that has the amount of time automatic for Note, in the stagger.
Oh god.
Because he just got there was a couple times where he was just running around and he was fucking
so badly.
Well, on Anubis, there's nowhere to jump off the side of the map easily enough. I mean,
Oh
yeah, you
God.
could run all the way, like I think point like between point eight,
There's
like
there's a
on the
part
right
like on the
side.
back of point two on like the left side if you're defending
Yeah, you can just
that you can
jump.
jump off of, but like it's really not easy to get to.
Yeah, and if you get staggered between them, it's just like, well,
I
here I
guess I'm
am.
just gonna here I am.
But yeah, I can't. Philly's is Philly the best team in the league? Probably.
Yeah.
Them and Shanghai. Shanghai had a trip up today, but
Yeah, I would
Seoul
still
played like they should play.
I would probably put Philly, Shanghai. Honestly, I don't even know where to go. Shock
San Francisco,
at third. Yeah, probably Shock at third.
they take care of business.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's dirty and it doesn't look good, but they take care of
But they get it
business.
done. And actually, let's talk about them.
Yeah,
They looked shaky on the first part against Toronto. There was I can't even say shaky. Toronto just had some really clutch plays to win part of the first map of Oasis.
This is what I'm going with right here.
Logix was just, and that's something that Toronto needs to continue doing.
Run Logix,
playing Logix and Surefour all the time, no matter what. I don't care what characters they're playing.
I understand.
Agilities
is good at some stuff. You put him in for certain things and certain comps you want to run. I think you got kind of thrown on Rialto.
The vast majority of the time, you're best off playing Logix and Surefour.
Yeah, because Surefour can play Mei. We saw that in map 1.
And his Mei was really good in that map, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I was so puzzled that they weren't playing, or that they were playing agilities when it came to Rialto. And
I think they kept him in. I think they brought agilities in because they thought they were going to do some kind of divey thing, and they thought because agilities is quote unquote the better echo.
Right.
But that never played out.
No, it didn't.
Toronto hung with them more than I think they wanted, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. That
but
being
Logix
said,
is just filthy.
It was really weird but cool watching. I don't know what was weirder, seeing on Rialto, seeing Cruz play BAP, or seeing Moth play Zen.
They both were weird, but I'm going to go with the Moth playing Zen was better.
Yes, definitely. And not to say that Cruz was bad on that, but it was just weird to see, because of course you're going to have Kareem playing Zen.
Zen or Anna.
Yeah.
They held their own though. I'm gonna give Toronto props on this match.
Honestly, I think Toronto. This is probably, even though they lost, I would say this is probably one of the better played games that Toronto has had in a long time, and it feels like we were right, and a lot of the things we were saying about Cruz coming to this team came to fruition. That he was going to add an element of shot calling that they've been missing sorely. And I think it
once he gets integrated more, it's going to be better.
Yes, absolutely.
And for the love
and you
of
could
God,
already
keep
see a
Logix.
dramatic difference.
Keep playing Logix.
Yes.
If McCree or Logix. Like those Supreme Hit Scan kind of McCree Widowmaker, just Widowmaker, I'll give that to Surefour.
Yeah.
But you got McCree Tracer kind of things going on. Play him in Surefour.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if you want to run agilities on certain things, that's fine. Keep Logix in there for the hit scan. Not because Surefour is more of a. Everyone says he's a hit scan guy. He's an actual DPS flex. Mm-hmm. He can play any of them. So if you have Logix in there and he can play the Tracer better, put Surefour in, he can play the Mei. Then switch to this. The only thing he can't do are the aerial kind of like, or Genji. If you want to run that kind of shit, put in agilities. If you want to run Pharah, Echo, I guess. I still.
But even then, I would still rather you play. If you're going to play, I think Surefour is going to have a serviceable enough Echo that
Yeah.
it's going to be the better play.
But
But yeah, until you get to a point where you know for sure that you can run Farah, I think Agility just has to ride the bench.
Yeah. And it's not that he's bad. It's just that the logic's Sure4 thing is better.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they didn't play terrible today. I think one of the most underrated guys on this team, I think Beast is proving that he's
played really well.
He's a good tank, a good main tank. Nevix, same thing. They have a good tank line. It's just, you know, they were playing San Francisco today. San Francisco is just good. Their coach is fucking phenomenal. You can't win against them playing average or above average even. You have to play at your best. At your best.
And you have to play. You have to play out of your minds. To really take it to them.
And the thing with San Francisco
or they have to be having a bad day.
Right. And the thing with San Francisco is a couple times in this match, you know, one pick and then they just like roll. They just all right. So they took out Logics on McCree and then they're just rolling through the rest because that's all they need. They need the one small window
to get one pick or just get any kind of perfect angle. It's over. Like that is, you have to play flawlessly against the Shock to beat them and to have any shot. And it's just how it goes against them. All right, so let's move on to your team. Actually,
baby,
I'll give you guys credit. Like, and it's not even the Vancouver
12 maps in a row,
anything like that. I really do think that your team, is the best iteration you guys have ever had. B, you're just getting better and better every week.
And that's with Chris playing like Chris playing on main support, who's average at best.
Mm-hmm.
They looked all right this weekend. And Houston fans, shut your fucking hole until you can't beat Boston, so go away.
Yeah,
I'm saying that now. Don't get on my team for playing Boston twice in a row and then having to play Vancouver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beat the Uprising, and I don't mean in the return match. Beat the Uprising twice. Anyway, they just, I don't know what is going on with this team, but they have like cohesion. I'm not used to seeing that. They have big plays. Yaki was out of his fucking mind today.
God, Yaki was so good.
He looked like fucking Prophet on Tracer. Drink, by the way, if you're out there and you're playing that game. He was like just fucking owning people, and it's fucking phenomenal to see. Like, okay, so in this tournament, they might have to play Philadelphia or, you know, a team
at some point, but right now they're
we're the best of the shit. So I'll take that.
They're the number 2 seed, I believe. You guys might be the number 1 seed in this tournament right now because you haven't lost a map.
Philly's number 1.
No, I think you guys have a better map differential because you haven't lost a map in the qualifiers. You have not lost a map yet.
Yes. So we get to play Boston again.
Number 1 currently. Philly's number 2.
Hear that, Houston? Number 1 seed, Florida Mayhem. What y'all got to say about that? How's Rockets doing? He fucked my pick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Pretty bad.
I gotta. But they looked really good today. Vancouver, who looked good yesterday, it's kind of like London.
Mm-hmm.
They came up against something that they weren't ready for, and Florida has cohesion now. They're BQB and fucking Yaki are better than I ever expected.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Yaki
that was the one thing I had questions about. Was like, all right,
was the DPS?
Was BQB playing other things besides Sombra? He was busting out Widow. Yeah, he wasn't great, but
it didn't matter because he was doing enough.
Yeah,
that it opened it up for Yaki to just clean up. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a great match for you guys. Let's talk hero pool, and then we're gonna wrap it up for this week, guys.
Yeah, we are. My girl's out on support, but there's always a caveat in the hero pool, guys.
Right.
There's
But at the same time, like it doesn't really matter for the players because we're not gonna. It's just honestly, I love that she is banned. So overall bans, we have Moira for support. We have Orisa on tank. We have Tracer on DPS, and the she devil herself, May, are all banned for next week.
It's like
in the league. That is not going to be in competitive yet. I don't. Probably this week when they get the next patch.
Yeah. It's like
that'll go into effect. But
it's like the devil sitting down at the table and going, "Okay, here are the cards. You could have May, Orisa, and Moira out, but I'm taking Tracer too. I'm okay with that." That's 90% of the people. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, Tracer's out. So dive could be a little weird, but what it kind of does is it brings back Echo back for that harassment. Like you run the Echo Sombra, which is kind of filthy, actually.
It's super fun to watch.
Oh yeah, because
I'm sure it's horrendous to play against, especially
and horrendous to cast. Horrendous casting that is like, okay, there's 9 there's 9 monkeys on the point. Fuck.
Right.
but
at the same time, it's so fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it is so glorious to watch. Like last week, I had so much fun watching last week. I had fun watching this week too, because if you guys don't know, I am a dive freak. I loved dive. Like the Genji Tracer dive is where I came in to playing Overwatch. I mained Diva for a long time. I just love that style of play. And Echo brings and maybe we'll get what Bob wants this week.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a stronger possibility.
The Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels.
Or what did somebody call it? Floats on Twitter.
Floats, yes.
I want floats.
It would be Echo, Mercy, and Pharah.
Yeah.
Are the primary people in that, and then you would have your dive tanks and probably Lucio as your other support.
In that, you might even be able to run Ana.
The only problem is it leaves Ana, she is your only person that's consistently on the ground, and it leaves her very vulnerable.
This is true. But with the amount of speed that the other 3 have, I guess Lucio taking him into the point. I was just thinking of consistent healing and stuff like that. Because if you have, when you have Echo in there, if you hit a clutch Bionade, it's just over for the fucking other side. It's
for sure.
Because you just throw the sticky bombs down, and then it's the fucking this thing. The
but we might. I don't know. It's very possible we might get a weird kind of Echo or a Bruiser with Echo, Bruiser comp with Echo.
You could do that too.
I feel like we might. That might be more of what we see. You get a lot of. So you get Ryan Zarya, Brig, because I think Brig pairs really well with Echo, giving that extra armor is massive.
Yeah, you might see that just a new comp,
and then possibly and probably a McCree with that. And that's what I'm most excited about is we're gonna get the 2 main hit scans that are Echo's counter, but we're also losing
May.
You're losing May, so you're not gonna have people just being like, well, we're just gonna play May because she's
broken,
kind of a counter and broken. Yeah.
That's why they play May. McCree isn't broken. McCree is McCree. Right. It's just
because you got to hit the shots.
Yeah, you got to hit the shots of McCree. May is just
and he is a glass cannon.
Yeah, May. Some of these guys are filthy with the right clicks. Yeah. Giving them more ammo was probably a dumb thing.
Right.
Okay, we nerfed everything else. Oh, but I can do this, and I play Widowmaker. Click, click, click. Oh, okay, that was a bad idea. Yeah. Like you give Fleta extra ammo. Why?
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I'm really. And this is something we'll dive more into on the preview show and kind of speculating on how that's all going to go.
Oh, definitely.
But I think that's going to do it for this week, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Anybody that's listening in podcast land on the later one, thank you so much for doing that. And don't forget to rate us and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Anybody that's watching on YouTube, if you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Like this video, like any videos that you watch of ours that you enjoy. It really helps us out. And then on top of that, hit the bell to get notifications of when we go live. And as always, check our Twitter to know when we are going live and when our new videos are posted.
Yes, and you can see random rants from me about nonsense. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Also, bear in mind when we get the final tournament trees out, we're going to do a couple of different episodes for picks and all that kind of stuff for the different regions, and we're going to get you ready for all that, and we're going to have fun with it. So we'll see you guys somewhere next week, in the middle of the week, getting ready for week 15. Catch you guys in the next one.
Catch you guys in the next one. Later.